Hello, welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands. Well, who knows what episode we're on, but it was certainly over a year. I think it's 60. Oh, look at you, keeping track.
I think you're making this
up.
up.
So I think last week was 59.
Oh, okay.
So,
there we go.
9 episodes away.
Hannah's back.
Don't sound too excited.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you've blown our sound already. Sorry about that, everybody. Hannah, just tell us a little bit about your time away.
It was amazing. We were jet setting off to Gibraltar to follow the competitors, the Falkland Islands competitors, as they competed in different sports for the island games, which was fab because we got to kind of go around and film them and have a taster of every different sport they were doing. And it was just nice to see them representing the islands. They were all
not as many sports as they normally do. In the
no,
island games.
so we had 6 sports in total. We had one guy for athletics. I'm not going to name names, but we can probably guess who it is. Some for athletics, and we had a team for shooting, badminton, swimming, table tennis, and squash.
It seemed like there was loads of shooting going on.
Oh yeah, shooting was my forte.
Yeah.
I'm a super sharp shooter now. No, shooting was really good. You had like the air pistol team who were doing air pistol in a smaller range, and then you had the clay shooting, which is where they let off the trap and the clays go across, and they've got to kind of bang hit them.
But no football.
No archery,
no
golf, nothing like that. But I think they're hoping that in the next 2 years at Guernsey there might be football. One of the sports there isn't, I know that much.
Why do they not have those?
Apparently they only got one football pitch in Gibraltar.
Yeah,
that's
I think it's like right next to the airport as well,
it's
isn't it?
quite expensive. Yeah. Obviously, if you've got a football team, it's not just 11 of you. Yeah. Hey, look at me knowing how many people in the football team. There's more than 11 of you and everything.
And the kit as well must be quite expensive, sorting all that out. But
I'm surprised there wasn't any golf, because I would have thought.
I didn't see any golf ranges there though. Yeah. To be honest, golf courses. Yeah. Didn't see any.
I wouldn't think there's enough space in Gibraltar to have a golf course. Because it all seems like it's quite.
Is it quite
tightly packed?
It is very compact. It's very built up. So they built with the shooting range and with the athletics track. They had kind of put that on the outside of the town. Brand new facilities they'd built, but they were rushing to finish everything. So when we got there, the swimming pool didn't have a roof.
Oh gosh!
Which it didn't matter because it was so warm, but it would have been nice for it to have a roof. So I think, and the same with the opening ceremony, the stadium they did that in, they'd only just managed to complete it in time.
So Hannah and Thomas did a lot of stuff via social media, a lot of live streaming. That worked quite well this time.
It
got a lot of compliments.
It worked better than I actually thought it would, to be honest, because I think we were worrying that people wouldn't want to spend their megabytes on it. But actually, tons of people watching it, and then we also had fans from other islands watching and families watching their competitors, and then they were asking if we were going to cover X, Y, and Z events, and we kind of had to say, well, look, we're primarily here to cover the Falkland Islands team, but I think next time if we had a bigger team, it would have been a great way to report on the games.
Maybe we can work in it and be the official video people for the Island Games.
And live streaming is definitely the way forward.
We were having a bit of a laugh at your expense actually last week because of your swimming pool coverage. Yeah. Because you were doing a commentary and obviously you had live streaming and you were filming with your DSLR and your DSLR frame was just dropping ever so slightly. So we were just having a giggle at your expense.
It's difficult trying to do 3 at once.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, completely.
Because then I'm looking at the scoreboard and the scores on that scoreboard go so mustard word. So quickly.
Thank
the
you.
scores on that
we
scoreboard
hadn't had a
go
mustard
so
word in so long, and now you've come back and ruined it.
See.
But anyway, what I was saying, the scores on the scoreboard go so quickly that you've got to kind of really quickly say what and the names of the people, and their times, and it just ended up being a little bit and then the next minute your camera's on the floor looking down. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was for you, Stephen. A bit of sport there. Look, talking about sport. Kyle and I did the darts tournament.
We did the darts.
Yes.
We were there till
4 a.m.
4 in the morning, 5.
So long.
Having a laugh, drinking it up, and
we had to concentrate on what was going on. I was hidden behind a wall, having darts thrown at me. It was lovely.
I must admit, listener, we weren't there till 3 or 4 in the morning. We were there until midnight. But I really enjoy it. The darts.
Yeah, I was enjoying it as well. We were having a good discussion, figuring out about the different ways people throw darts, and this person got this weight of dart, and this person's using this weight.
Does that make a difference?
I don't know, but if the physicists out there, please get in touch with us.
Some people have long darts and short darts.
Stubby darts. Well, what's the?
There's one lady. She wasn't there that Sunday night, but she was there a few years ago, and she's got darts that the flights just twist round as on their own. That's very fancy pants. Yeah, metal, plastic.
Yeah. We saw some lovely flights that were all iridescent colours and all sorts.
Oh, we'll
lovely.
have to sort out a little team, an FITV team.
Well, that's what we were saying.
This is our next adventure for FITV is the darts. We are going to get a darts board. I feel, though, that it needs to have some kind of protection around it, because I have a feeling we're going to be going into the wall, and I don't think Stanley Services would be very happy with us.
The walls are pretty terrible anyway.
Paula had a lovely idea of putting people's faces around the dartboard, so we can, if we accidentally hit the wall, we just hit someone's face.
Hit people we don't like. Although that's probably not, that's a bit voodoo, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
No, so we would have a board round it, because I think the chances are that at the beginning we would miss the board.
What are you saying? That our dart skills might not be tip-top already? We might never know, might be a pro.
No, let's quit TV, become professional darts players.
That's what we need.
Matching outfits with the shirts.
We're all over it.
Yep.
We've
already got plans.
Way ahead of you. We're all going to have nicknames.
Yep.
You're going to be Hannah the Hurricane Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thomas the Beanpole Stockton.
There we go.
Yeah. We haven't.
We're working
on
ours. Yeah.
But we would have that, and matching white and orange FITV darts.
I look like Charlie Sheen in there, 2.5 men.
Yeah, I think it will be fab, and we could have it in here. And while we're sitting here waiting for things to render and export and stuff, we can have
practice
a
our
little
darts.
practice
I don't
our
like the
darts.
idea you guys keep looking over to above my desk for the darts board. Because
you
I
were
don't
hit
forget
by-
how uncomfortable I
It seems to be
feel.
the only place that has enough space for someone to stand.
I think you were hit with a Nerf gun once.
I was.
Weren't you?
I wasn't very pleased about that.
No. I don't know. I think actually above my head here. We'll stick it here, because I think
But
where
the
you're
length-
That's
sitting-
not regulation length.
That's not regular. Yeah, you've got to get you've got to
Probably
get
not.
the right.
I
You've
don't
got to get the
know.
right
I
length.
think it's
going to have to
probably
be
from
there.
that
then.
bookcase. Probably. I don't know. We'll
If
have to get
I
someone to come and regulate
I
us
think we'll just have
first.
to stand but there where my desk is, and then just not hit Hannah, and just go straight forwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the plan. Listener, we are going to start the FITV darts team. The thing is, I don't think we're going to be able to go into the tournaments, the league, sorry, because we've got to field a team of 5 every single Monday evening.
Oh, come on, how hard can that be?
Well,
Find someone.
there's 4 of us, and
Steve.
But if Steve and I are away, we're suddenly down to 3.
Well, we'll all just have to cancel our holidays for the darts league.
See, I said...
Dean will step in. There we go. Dean.
I said we should just get 2 other people that look enough like Paula and Steve.
Dress them up.
Dress them up, put them in, and then by the time people have started drinking in the darts tournament, they won't know the difference.
Apart from the skills.
Maybe they'll be better, you don't know.
So it was very interesting to see how people, certainly the people who were slightly shorter, because the taller men, just seemed to be like throwing them, and it was a horizontal
like
line.
shot, yeah.
But the ladies who were shorter, there was one lady who was almost like throwing it.
Yeah, it's like pushing it forwards with her hand instead of throwing it forwards.
Yeah.
No, someone else was like
odd.
throwing it from their chest like that instead of up like that. And
But getting what they wanted.
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the rules of darts. There's different rules, aren't there? Because you can do round the clock where you have to hit.
No, in the tournament. So there was the FIC tournament, which was earlier on in July.
yeah, and that was doubles, wasn't it?
And that was double in, so you had to get a double before you start. And then you go from 301 down to 0, and it's the first one that hits 0. But you have to have a double to finish as well.
Oh.
And then the SAS tournament, which was on last Saturday evening, it was straight in with whatever you threw, but it was 501, so you started from 501, had to go backwards to 0, but you had to have a double finish as well, or a ball finish, of course. Because there was Jackie Thomas in the FIC tournament who did a 75 finish. So she got the green bit around the bullseye and then the bullseye finish, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So do they type in their scores on that scoreboard?
No,
or
so
is
you
it
have a score-
automatically?
They've got a scorer that stands next to it and counts it all up. And
Oh, that's good, because that's one bit about darts I'm not very good at, the quick mental maths.
This is it. This is the same conversation I had with Carl as we were sitting there at the SAS. It was like treble 19.
God knows.
I would have to think about it. But these guys who are doing the scoring are like, got it like that. Although the lady who was sitting next to you, she said it won't take you long before you can recite, treble 16, treble 17, treble 18, treble 19.
Well, I suppose that's the thing, because there's only a certain amount of different scores you can get. you'd just be like, okay, they've got another triple 19. I already know that equals whatever, and then.
Yeah. So at the men's final on Saturday night, Colin Smith, his final darts, he won in 4 straight legs. His final darts, he had 108, I think it was, to go. So he did treble 18, a single 18, and then a double 18 to finish.
Jeez.
And you should listen to the commentary by Tootford, who is absolutely fantastic, who says, he calls it a Shanghai finish.
What's a Shanghai finish?
Well, that's it. Who knows? If you know what that is, listener, email us. Engage with us, please.
Oh, that's interesting. Shanghai finish.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to the shop last night and saw. I had a mayonnaise emergency, so I went to the shop.
A mayonnaise emergency.
Oh yeah. And I saw a guy in the car next to me. His name's Graham, and he said he listens to our podcast. So hello, Graham.
Oh, that's good. Hello, Graham.
And also, I went to a breakfast meeting this morning.
A business
brunch.
Which is why
is what it's called.
Why I am wearing my business suit today. With all these students, the Falklands students, there were some GCSE students, some college students, some apprenticeship people, and all sorts. It was really, really good. Very well organised by the Chamber of Commerce and the Training Centre. And I was sitting next to a young lady who I said, oh, I've got to go now because I've got to go and record the podcast. And she said, oh, do you have a podcast? I told her all about it. So hello, Jess.
Ooh.
Hello,
if
Jess.
You're listening to us. Give you a shout out.
But more to the point, what was the breakfast like?
Yeah, and why didn't you bring any back?
Do you know what?
Why couldn't we come for breakfast? We wanted a freebie breakfast.
I saw Gordon from FIDC. I didn't even think. And he had nicked a croissant to take back to the office for somebody in the office. And I thought, oh yeah, I should have done now. I should have bought you croissants.
Could have had croissants with this podcast.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I wasn't thinking the same.
Oh, Paula
dropped her tennis ball.
Yeah, so I've got backaches. It's my massage tennis ball today. Right, so let's have a look what's on this week. We had blimmin' busy day yesterday.
Yeah, it was a busy
Yesterday was a
Thursday.
meetings day, wasn't it? It was terribly exciting.
We spent all day in the courtroom in the town hall.
From 8 o'clock
First
in the
3
morning.
hours we were at Legass, which was quite interesting, wasn't it?
So Legislative Assembly to everyone else. We were there at 8 o'clock in the morning to set up, ready for the 9 o'clock session. You didn't stand up the whole time. I couldn't stand up.
I did a stand-up, sit-down. And then I took my shoes off, which I thought probably I shouldn't have done. But I thought, you know what, I'm not.
You're just making yourself at home.
I know. Well, you might as well. But you've got to when you're at something like that,
exactly.
and it's long time. It's just can get a bit.
So that's what's 9 hours of footage from 3 cameras. 3 hours, 3 cameras. So I can do 3 times 3. But there were some interesting bits in there. There was the
swimming pool
swimming
debacle.
Pool. Discussing that.
Yeah, that was quite interesting.
That wasn't interesting.
It was to do with I don't know whether the listeners heard last week about it, whether you guys spoke, but it was on the show last week about the swimming pool, and
the listener will have to go and watch our report on it that we did. This was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yes,
yeah,
it was the same week as the Island Games.
It went up on our website, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Also, they looked at that leased aircraft. You were trying to do a piece on that, weren't you? When the aircraft.
Gosh, the white elephant. That's the way they like to refer to it. But by the sounds of it, it's finally there's some movement on that, and the aircraft will actually be stepping in for a couple of months, and we'll get it for free.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good. And then you went to the Public Accounts Committee for their next project starting.
Which is all about EMIS, which is the data management software they use in the hospital.
Okay.
Trying to figure out if that was cost effective or not.
Okay. So, and then in the evening you did the public meeting. You
Yes. I was going to ask you this though, because you were at the PAC with Mark Paula, MLA Mark Paula.
Yes, I was.
And then we went to the public meeting, and he turned up late to the public meeting, about 15 minutes late, and we thought, and he turned around and said, oh, sorry everyone, I'm late. I was at the PAC, but I was like, Carl was at the PAC, and he managed to finish at about half 4.
Well, because I went to the PAC, and I stayed for the chat they were having about the EMIS system, and then after that, I think they were. Nancy said that they were just going to go over the minutes of the last meeting.
And it's
so
a
I don't
closed
know
section.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe that overran, or maybe they're just having a chat afterwards.
Or eating too many mint imperials.
Or eating too many mint imperials, Mr.
Is that what they have at PAC?
So, there was some jokes made about MLA Barry Ellsby and his fondness for mint imperials at the meeting. and about whether or not him taking handfuls of them was cost effective enough, especially as Nancy had bought them.
Excellent. So it was a very busy day yesterday even.
Yes.
So yeah, we've had a lot to do. All at the latter part of the week, I felt. So it's been a bit rushed this morning to finish off the programme. It's just you're burning an ISO right now, aren't you?
Uploading and burning and everything.
Excellent. So, Hannah, what was your big story this week?
My big story was a spate of vandalism. Big spate of vandalism. Over the past week or two, there's been a couple of incidents of criminal damage and vandalism. Someone, question mark, or a gang, question mark, gang, like the word gang. Gangs. Destroying a bench.
But it wasn't just any bench. It wasn't just any bench. It was the HMS Glamorgan.
Then you had
Memorial Bench.
Tearing up donut tyre tracks on the football pitch and going into the lighthouse and smashing windows and things. The police think it's one group of people. They've got 3 men in custody at the moment. But it was interesting because it was. I don't think these guys did it in a.
Not malicious way.
It wasn't a malicious way. It wasn't a, oh God, we hate the armed forces and this and that and da-da-da. I think it was more of a case of silly...
Messing around,
young guys.
Wouldn't it be a good idea if we did...
Yeah, do you know, I don't think it was them being like, oh, we hate our islands. And because some people were reading into it on Facebook, it kind of all kicked off into a big... debate.
Oh, they were lighting the lanterns and sharpening the pitchforks.
All sorts. Whereas I think actually, when you're young, you don't
do
always
stupid things.
Yeah, you do stupid things. You've just passed your driving test, whatever. You don't think about what the knock-on effect of what you're doing. Sometimes, not saying that it was okay for them to do that at all, or not advocating their behaviour, but I just think sometimes people need to calm down on their reactions a little bit. Go from one extreme to the other. Like, for example, at the public meeting last night, it seems that
some high tensions.
Everyone's very quick to go, oh, this is wrong and you're wrong and you should have done it like this. Why haven't you? Well, it's been and gone. That's happened. The only thing you can do is learn from what's happened previously instead of...
Try to improve on it in future.
Going at it with pitchforks. Like, there was a very interesting point made about prosecuting Argentines who wave flags when they come here. There's no laws actually against... flag waving. I thought there was here, but there isn't.
No, there's something about
sovereignty claims.
Defacing a flag. Is the issue if you've got a defaced flag. Anyway, so tune in next week, folks, for that week 440. We're on week 439. No bloopers at the end of this programme.
No.
Hannah, you have a very good talent of looking absolutely serious, and then all of a sudden your face breaks out into this gorgeous smile.
I know, it's terrible.
Watch out for that, listener.
Actually. I think I don't intentionally do it. It depends on what I'm doing or who I'm sat with. You know, I know it sounds awful, but you work differently and bouncing off each other, and sometimes if I'm thinking, oh my God, we've got to get this done really quickly, I'm just like...
Which we did yesterday. Which we did yesterday because it had to be filmed at 1:30 and it had to be done first time. It didn't.
But it just gets a bit... I get not infuriated, but I'm like, right, come on. I'm trying to motivate.
So look out for that, listener. It's
can tell I'm looking infuriated. Exasperated.
I'm going to the cinema on Sunday.
Ooh, what are you going to see?
I'm going to see Yesterday.
Ooh. Oh, that looks good. That's a new Danny Boyle directed film.
About if the Beatles never existed.
Do you know anything about it?
No.
Okay, spoiler alert in a minute. It's basically about plagiarism. Because he wakes up, no one's heard about the Beatles, but he then takes on the Beatles songs and claims them as his own as he writes them.
Did you ever watch...
So interesting.
Nowhere Boy, about John Lennon, and it had the guy from Kick Beep, the film, you know, Kick.
Oh yeah.
Kick Your Bottom. The superhero film that's not called
Kick
that.
Butt.
Oh, I see.
But it had the actor who Aaron Johnson, I think his name is. It had him playing a young John Lennon.
Okay.
And it was really good, and it was to do with like his life and his family life and stuff, and how he wrote songs and kind of got into the band. That's a very good film.
Are you either of you musicians?
No, I've attempted in the past and have been told to stop.
Oh no, that's not any good. Hannah, you sing though, don't you?
I haven't picked up a guitar in forever.
And you play the guitar as well?
But it's been years.
Well, you can't play the guitar with those nails at the moment.
No, I know.
No.
I've
been admiring those nails all week.
They need to be redone. They're looking a bit shab. But no, I go through fits and spurts. I don't know about you, whether sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to play something, and then the next minute I'm like, don't want to touch it for months.
Yeah. Well, the listener, as they know, I dabble with the ukulele, and
we're still waiting for that
I've still not seen this ukulele.
I don't think it exists.
No, it's all lies.
People will think that anyway. So next week we've got quite a lot of things going on next week already. I think we've actually got a full programme because there's some court this afternoon, the public meeting from last night, and I'm ever so sorry everybody, the Training Centre Achievement Awards I completely and utterly forgot to put in the news, so that will go in next week as well. Southern Heartbeat, that's the things, isn't it?
Yes, they've got a load of new defibs, and they've got more than ever.
Apparently
more than they expected, which is good.
Yeah. I saw this one outside Gilbert House.
Liberty Lodge open day on the weekend if anyone's going.
Yeah,
that'd be worth going to.
Anyway, we are coming to the end of this week's podcast. What we're going to do, there will be some editing in that, so you will hear some dips as Hannah's mustard words all over the place. But what we will say is you've had a big clear out of our office.
Yes.
Because it was looking a little bit...
It was awful. For 2 weeks since I'd left, nobody had cleaned anything.
Shabby.
So we've got this lovely headdress that's sitting in our office, and we would like to offer it as
a fascinator.
Is it? We would like to offer it as a prize for the person who tells us what Carl's middle name is.
Yeah.
And you've got two middle names.
Yes.
Give us one or the other.
Can I give a clue?
If you want.
Pigs.
What?
Pigs? What?
That's the clue. Oh no, I've got confused.
Ignore that, listener. Don't know what.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking of something else. I've got confused.
Tell us after the.
I will tell you after the podcast.
Okay.
No, I was thinking of something that would give a clue to the second part of your. But it's not. No, I've done that wrong.
Give us the initials so we can work on them.
First one begins with an R. Second one begins with an I.
Okay, there we go.
The second one's very old-fashioned. It's not a very common name, is it?
It's not
Ian.
Unusual.
No, it's not Ian.
It's not Ian. Okay, folks, so if you know that, please email news at FITV.co.uk. You can do it to the news, so you can have...
What was I thinking about?
I don't know, but we'll find out afterwards. Yes, you get this lovely fascinator for the winner of that.
We'll get a picture of Carl in it so you can have a look on.
Years ago, we used to do a competition every 2 weeks for like lunch at the Malvina and stuff like that. And the way we would find out the winner was I would get all the emails, I would print them all off. It's a waste of paper, really. Print them all off, screw them all into balls, and throw them at somebody blindfolded sitting on one of our wiggly chairs, and they had to catch one of them, and that would be the
well, that's a good idea.
That's a fun way of doing it.
So we may do
not
it like
very
that.
environmentally friendly, is it?
It's not. It's not really. But anyway, yes, that's how we will do it. It will be a random choice. So give us a call on news@fitv.co.uk with Carl's middle name for the winning of the Fascinator.
And you'll see the Fascinator on the thumbnail of this podcast.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
That's what we're going to be doing. So if you want to watch, it's week 439 this week on fitv.co.uk or on KTV if you subscribe to KTV. We're on there. We're having some issues with the HD version, aren't we? Because we were on 856, channel 856 for HD, and we are aware that it's slightly pixelated, and we are trying to work with KTV to see if we can get that sorted. But it was fine a few weeks ago, and now it's suddenly not fine. So we're trying to figure out what that is.
Like a coincidence, ever since Tom and I left, it's just not fine.
Well, that's it.
Must be it. Now we're back.
Well, we had all those technical issues as well the first week I was on, so God knows.
Anyway, see you next week.
See ya.